Well, welcome back, and sorry for the delay. Kwesi and Ephraim did not have breakfast, so they weren't seen top. But thank God that we are back. Oh, guys, the next time you give us a technical hitch, you'll go on camera and explain to viewers why you've wasted their valuable data. So, today we are doing the L words, and we're doing 4 L words, and then if there's time, I'll throw in a bonus. So we're doing L for language, L for libido, L for lovemaking, and L for legal. And then I'll throw in the extra word later. So let's start with L for language. There's a scenario that happens in a lot of relationships. You would find one person thinking that I am doing everything for this person, and the other person not feeling the love. For instance, there are cases where a man buys gifts for his wife, expensive gifts, and the wife says, what are gifts when we don't spend time together? And there are people who get very, very upset because they think, I'm doing the best I can. My spouse, my partner does not seem to appreciate it. What is happening here? What is happening here is that the two of you are speaking different love languages. There are love languages. There are love languages. And Dr. Gary Chapman gives us 5 love languages. And you've got to understand, you've got to know your own love language, you've got to know that of your partner, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. So let's run through the 5 love languages, and then after that we can look at how we can make it work for us. So the 5 love languages that Dr. Gary Chapman puts together are words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch. Give me the distance, please. Words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, quality time, and acts of service. Those are the 5 love languages. Words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, quality time, acts of service. Now, this is how it works. If your partner's love language, in other words, we all hear love. We feel love when it is spoken in one of these languages. So if I feel love in acts of service, no matter how much touchy you are with me, no matter how much gifts you give me, because my love language is in acts of service, I'm not going to feel your love. If my love language is words of affirmation, then it doesn't matter how much gifts you give me. It doesn't matter how well you serve me. If the words are not coming, I am not going to feel your love. It is important for us to note this. So the first task is, how do you know your own love language? This is how. What hurts you deeply? What does your partner say or do that hurts you deeply? Whatever hurts you deeply, it's an indication, it gives us a clue to your love language. Let me try and explain. If, for instance, you are hurt that your partner criticizes you, then for you, words of affirmation is your love language. If you are hurt that your partner does not help you in the house and leaves all the chores to you, then for you, acts of service may be your love language. If you complain that your partner is not expressive, does not touch you, and does not hold you, then your love language may be physical touch. But much as it is important for you to know your love language, it is even more critical for you to know and understand your partner's love language. Your partner's love language. And you've got to find ways of discovering what your partner's love language is. Because until you discover it and begin to, quote and unquote, speak that language, it doesn't matter what you do for your partner is not quite going to feel your love. So how do you know your partner's love language? Well, note carefully what your partner complains about. If sometimes when our partners complain, we think that, oh, They are nagging, but they are giving us information. They are giving us a hint. So if your partner keeps saying that, you don't ever help me in the house, then it is acts of service. You never touch me. You never hold me. Then physical touch. You come home and your partner asks you, so what did you bring me? So I didn't bring you anything, and your partner is hurt. You must know that gifts may be your partner's language. The second way is ask your partner, what do I say or do or fail to say or do that hurts you most deeply? So the first one is you noting what they complain about. The second way of telling your partner's love language is to ask them. Don't ask them what is your love language, because they may not even know. Ask them, what do I do or say, or what do I fail to do or say that hurts you most deeply? And in that, you'll be discovering their love language. The other thing, the third, is what requests does your partner make of you often? Oh, when you are coming, buy me something. That's a hint, love language. Or why don't you clean this place? Why don't you do this? Why is the food always late? Acts of service. The fourth, how does your partner most often express his or her love to you? Because they are giving you their love language. The way your partner expresses love to you is an indication of his love language. And if you can tap into that, that would be great. Now, you've got to note something, that when it comes to love language, don't love your spouse your way. Love your spouse in their way. Some people make the mistake and feel that, well, I give him gifts. Well, yeah, you give him gifts, but is that what you want? There was a man who had this experience where his wife told him, well, you buy me gifts, but what are gifts? We never spent time together. And the man said, if I knew that all that she wanted was for me to sit down beside her and chat, oh, I would have done this, and I've done it very well. So that brings us to our first word. Remember, L for love language. You've got to know your partner's love language, or you are in trouble. Now, that takes us to our second L word, and it is L for libido. L for libido. Libido is defined as a person's overall sexual desire, sexual drive, or his desire for sexual activity. Now, your libido level can be high, it can be low. The interesting thing is that men tend to reach their libidos, their highest level, their peak of their libido in their teens, in their late teens. Women reach it in their 30s. So all those 20 teenage girls and 20-year-old young ladies who think they come for top, you wait. It's ahead of you. You are now going to hit your prime proper. Now, if you do not get if you do not work on libido, your relationship will be doomed, because your libido can fall. You can get to the point where you don't have any sexual desire at all, or your sexual desire becomes so low. So let's look at some of the factors that affect a person's libido. I would run through a number of them. The first one, stress and fatigue. Stress and fatigue can kill your libido. It can make you not want desire sex. The second, not feeling good about yourself, or when you have your body image issues, when you don't feel good about yourself, you don't, because you see, to be able to give fully in lovemaking, you've got to feel good, you've got to feel confident about yourself. But if you don't feel it, you're going to be in trouble. 3, you may be taking some medication, and some medications will just kill your libido. So sometimes check the contraindications of the medications you are taking. Illness is another thing that can kill your libido. Alcohol and smoking anything, pot, whatever, can mess you up. Pregnancy can kill your libido. Depression can kill your libido. Unresolved issues. You know, if you're in the kind of relationship where you don't feel that you have the chance to table the issues that are bothering you, you gradually will lose interest in pleasing your partner sexually. Age. As you grow older, it reduces. Like I said, men hit their peak in their teens, and then from that point, we don't get better. We don't get higher. We keep going. Fortunately, the slide is not sudden. It can take you really up to your 70s and beyond. Lack of privacy. If you are married and your partner doesn't feel that anybody can walk into the room anytime, you can be sure that with the time, your partner's desire for sex is going to vanish. And that is why you've got to ensure that you create the right kind of room. Lack of intimacy. If all you want is that, hey, let's get it on, no. I was telling my crew that some men, what they do is, hey, go and call your mother. Let your mother go and call your mother for me. That kind of go and call your mother kind of scenario will not work for you. And then the attractiveness or the shape of your partner. If your partner keeps himself well, keeps herself well, then your libido will be up. But if your partner lets himself go or herself go, then it's going to be difficult. But the fortunate thing, the good news is that even though these factors, there are factors your libido can go down, the good thing is that there are things that can give your libido a boost. And that is wonderful. So let's look at some of the factors that can give your libido a boost. The factors that will make you excited again. The first is get some relaxation going. Maintain a positive mental attitude. Maintain a positive mental attitude and lower your stress level. So check the things that makes you stress and begin to find ways in which you can lower it. 2, know how you set a mood for your partner. And once you set the mood, please don't do anything to ruin it. There are people who go to a great extent to set the right romantic mood, and then something they say or an answer they give to a question suddenly kills everything. So set the right mood, and please don't ruin it. There are other things that can ruin the mood. Check the pictures in your bedroom. Don't hang pictures of your parents and of your children in the bedroom. Because one day, your partner is going to look at them and say, look, they are looking at us. They are looking at us. So you don't want that kind of situation. So regular exercises. Our lives are becoming too soft. We don't do much physical activity, especially those whom God has blessed with good career, good income. You drive an air-conditioned house. You park right at the gate. You ride the elevator to your the lift to your office, air-conditioned office. You have a secretary, personal assistant to serve you. At the end of the day, you get back into your car. No exercise. You're doing damage to your libido. So make the time to have an exercise. Even if it is something as simple as going for a walk, just go for a walk. Whatever it is, just make sure you sweat. Get some sweat into your system. Then your nutrition. Check your diet. Check what you eat. It must be healthy. It must be nutritious. It must include fresh fruits and vegetables. Make time to relax. Keep and maintain the right body size and weight for you, because it can do damage to you. Declutter the bedroom. Your bedroom is not a place where you throw everything. Everything is bazaar. It would affect the mood you set. It will affect your libido. So declutter the bedroom. For instance, make sure the bed is well laid, and make sure the room smells nice. Not too pungent, but just a subtle scent, pleasant scent in the air. That'll be fine. Have a frank and open talk with your partner. If there are issues, just talk frankly and tell them, this is what I'm going through, this is what is happening. And then forgive your spouse and let it go. Sometimes lingering unforgiveness can mess up your libido big time. So forgive and let it go. And if all that fails, then please seek help. Seek help from a counselor or seek help from a sex therapist. So that brings me to the end of the second L word. The first L word was love languages. We gave 5 love languages. Then we've just done libido. Now our third L word, and that is L for love making. Love making. The quality of your love making determines the health of your relationship. If the quality is good, you and your spouse become even more committed to the relationship. You are willing to make sacrifices. You are willing to go the extra mile. Even things that will kill other people's relationship, you smile over and say, oh, you don't do this. And you are fun to be with. If the quality of your love making is not good, you and your partner will become petty. And you'll pick petty fights. You'll make issues of no issues. I remember when I was in my 20s, I used to attend a lot of marriage seminars. And there were these stories that one kept hearing as illustrations at these seminars. One of them was that a couple fought over where to squeeze the toothpaste. The man was squeezing from the bottom. The lady insists that as for me, I'll squeeze anywhere. She squeezes in the middle. And that resulted in a fight. You know what? If you and your spouse are fighting over where to squeeze toothpaste, then it is not toothpaste that is the issue. Love making is the issue. Your love making sucks. And that is why you are acting it out there. If you're always complaining that there's too much salt in my soup, there's too much salt, it's not the salt too. The two of you are not doing well in the area of love making. So if you can get that one right, that would be fantastic. Now, I know that everybody who is sexually active thinks he knows and understands love making. So let me throw this out there. There's a difference between sex and love making. There's a difference between, you see, if you are having sex and all you are concerned about is your pleasure, then you are not making love. You are having sex. If you are doing it and all you are thinking about is that we must have a baby must come out of this, then what you are having is you are copulating. You are having coitus. Animals have it. That is not right. So now I put together some questions. I wanted to test how well we all know love can make a distinction between love making and sex. Because you see, the prostitute has sex, does not make love. A rapist has sex, does not make love. And there are husbands who have been married for years and all they've been having is sex. They've never made love. And they need to learn to make love. So, can we go to the questions? We're going to the questions. And the questions, I think, I will need a camera here so that we can test a few people. When I ask the question, throw it on anybody and let's see what the person has to say. And lock the door so nobody leaves the room. All right. Okay. Well, Ken, since you've gotten up, please put it on Ken first. Put it on Ken. Are we on Ken? Is Ken on camera?
Yes, it's on camera.
All right. Ken.
Yes, sir.
Men and women experience lovemaking in the same way, true or false?
False.
All right, that's right. You're not bad. Because men and women experience lovemaking in very different ways. Who can I make hot now? No, okay. Ronnie. Ronnie,
Yeah.
name at least 3 sex organs of a man.
Oh, the mind, first of all.
Okay.
The lips.
Okay.
And also the The natural sex organ.
Okay,
The
minus
penis.
that one.
Minus that one. Oh, the hands. The hands.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Kwesi is hiding somewhere. Come on, Kwesi. Yes. Kwesi, let Kwesi come on camera.
Just for doing rough.
Kwesi, what proportion of women reach their orgasm during intercourse? What proportion?
I would say probably like 20%.
Quite close,
Yeah.
25%. It's a quarter
Yeah.
of them. So can I throw another question at you?
Yes.
All right. Which is better, in lovemaking, which is better and more effective, gentle or rough?
Gentle always supersedes rough.
All right.
Except that some women want it rough, but those are extremely women who have probably had some sexual experiences.
All right. Who else can I make calls? Ephraim, are you there? Ephraim, true or false? It is a man's job to give his woman orgasm.
True.
It is false. A lot of men make that mistake. They think it is my job to make my woman come to orgasm. No, that is not your job. Your job is to create the environment and the mood so that she can then express herself and then reach and enjoy it in whichever way she wants. If you focus on giving her orgasm, you'll be frustrated and you'll frustrate her. But create the environment, create the mood, the environment, and then you would find that it becomes much easier for her to reach her climax. So that's a quiz. So if you want to try it, let me give you the whole questions so that you can try it, measure it. We didn't answer all of them. Men and women experience love making in the same way, true or false. Which is the most important? Oh, that one we haven't asked. Which is the most important and most sensitive gene spot for a girl? No, Abizga is a girl, so she won't be able to answer it. Which is the most important and sensitive gene spot for a girl? No, Kweku is not supposed to be having sex.
You be making love.
My guys are running away and passing. Well, the most important and the most important and most sensitive J spot for a girl is her whole body. Her whole body. When a girl is in a good mood, everything about her tingles. Everything about her comes alive. So those of you who've been going to school learning what is a J spot, what is a J spot, focus, because you see, for a woman, love making starts with the heart, not with the body. And once the heart is turned on, every part about her comes to play. Well, so let me end love making with a few tips on love making. I am not going to go too much into details because it is the day. I don't know who else is watching, but there's quite a lot of material on the net. You can go and educate yourself. But the first thing is create the right mood, the right ambience. And remember, do not focus on her orgasm. Focus on whatever allows her to have one. So create the erotic context that is comfortable, that is relaxed, and that is sufficiently arousing. That will enable her to let go however she wants. Think intimacy whenever you think of lovemaking. Remove all offensive smells and sights from the room. Take it nice and slow. Don't rush it. Don't get rough too soon. Kwesi said that some women want it rough. Not quite. But the point is that at a certain point, things will get a little bit heated up. Do you understand? But it doesn't have to start from the beginning. If you do that from the beginning, you'll hurt the woman. Prepare the girl. Men quite don't need preparation. I mean, as soon as I think about it, I'm happy, I'm ready. As soon as I see an arousing sight, I'm ready. But your woman is not like that. Your woman needs to be prepared. Oh, and make it fun. Make it fun. And then once we are at it, please don't make it one week. Let there be variety. Not just in the style, in the approach, but even in the location. Sometimes with lovemaking, geography counts. So every now and then, go away from home. Leave the children and go. Remember, when you focus on your pleasure, you are having sex. When you focus on your partner's pleasure, you are making love. When you do it for a baby, you are copulating. When you do it to communicate and demonstrate your love and commitment, that is lovemaking. So that brings us to our third L word. So we'll go quickly to our fourth L word, and that is legal. Legal. There are people who enter a love relationship and they say, oh, we love each other, and that is all that matters. Please, this is real life. Get real. You may love each other, but make it legal. Put paper for top. Do you understand me? Sign a few things, because this is life. You never know what can happen. So don't live with a man when there's no legal covering. This issue of people moving in and living together, oh, please, let it be legal. If you do not want wedding or you can't afford a wedding, fine. You are living together. So this is what you can do. You can go to the Registered General's office and sign a few papers. Or you can go to the office of the city council and sign a few papers. That becomes legal. And if you make any arrangements at home in your relationship, put it on paper. Let me give you one example. There are cases where a couple marry and they are living in a rented house, and then they say, oh, we need to put up our own house. So the man then tells the wife that, okay, you use your money to sustain the house, to buy food and take care of the expenses in the house, and let me sink my money into the house, into the building of our house. And a lot of women have done that. You know what happens in most cases? When the building is done, the man says, this is my house. You don't have a pessoa in there. It is wrong. So the next time, or if you're in a situation where your husband has said this to you, tell her, cool, please put it on paper for me. Write it. Let's have an evidence that this is the agreement we had. Because if you tell me to use my money to keep the home, whilst you use your money to do the project for us, I have as much stake in it as you. So you can't come later and say, how much did you put into it? I put everything into it. I am an equal stakeholder in it. But make it legal. Make it legal so that when one of you dies, the other does not, the family does not come in to make you bitter. You can have the paper and say, hey, wait, this car belongs to me and my husband. You can't touch it. It is mine as well. So please make it legal. Don't take things for granted. Now, let's now end with the bonus word, and then I'll take your questions. And the bonus word is L. And this is how I want you to think of L. The L for love. The L for love. The L in love is lives. So life apostrophe S. The O is for obstacles. Life's obstacles. The V for vanquished. Life's obstacles vanquished. E for everyday. Life's obstacles vanquished every day. In other words, love makes you a champion every day, not some days. Love makes you a champion every day. Well, that's my presentation. Those are the L words. L for language. Remember 5 love languages. You've got to learn to speak your partner's love language. L for libido. L for lovemaking. L for legal. And then our bonus word, L for love. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I'd like to thank you once more time for joining us and for staying on. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'll take your questions. So, thanks.
Honey, meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle WHYTE at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050.
Right, thank you very much for staying with us. I appreciate this. I appreciate the fact that you make the investment to stay with us. Investment of time, investment of data. Now, we'll take your questions. I understand there are a few questions that have come through. So, let's go.
Uncle from Steve Asante, what about those days you don't see or feel anything? What about those days your partner doesn't see or feel anything you do or say in the relationship?
Check the love language. Check her love language. Because you see, if your partner speaks gifts, and you are in acts of service, you won't get through to her.
From Ruby, Uncle, why do men always ask if you came during lovemaking? If they don't see you shaking and all.
It's because for a lot of men, they think it is their job to make you come to your orgasm, to have orgasm. It is wrong. That is not their job. Their job is to create the context for you so you can enjoy this and then express your enjoyment in however way you choose it. So it's their own insecurity, and because of the way we've been taught wrong, we've been taught that it is a sign of a man to bring his wife to orgasm, and it isn't right.
From Louisa, dear Uncle, if you try to be romantic, generally romantic, and your partner ruins it, what do you do? That thing can pain for years.
Oh yes, it is. It can be very, very painful. But again, you are looking at being romantic. In other words, maybe you are looking at quality time and things like that. Your partner may be speaking a very different language. So again, discover the love language of your partner, and it may help. But I agree that it can be very painful. But we should not love our partners the way we think they should be loved. We should love them the way they want to be loved. That is when you really have it on.
From Isaac, Uncle, is it possible that your partner can respond to all 5 love languages?
Yes, we are human beings. Of course, who doesn't? Yes. But one will become the predominant love language, and look for that one. Look for that one. Otherwise, you will not score full marks.
Hi, Uncle.
Please, is it normal for couples to live under the same roof and yet no intimacy for a whole month, no touching, kissing, sweet words from Opana? We have a child, but Opana does not seem to know how to treat the baby when he cries. Or the baby is happy and shouting, then he bawls. Uncle, what do I do?
Your partner is going through a phase of low libido. I think you should have a chat with him. I take it that the child is not too old, and he doesn't know how to handle it. Oh, by the way, ladies, listen to this. Men go through a certain difficulty after when their wife is nursing a baby. When we suddenly see that there's a competitor to the thing that used to comfort us. In other words, when we see you breastfeeding the baby, in our mind, we know that we've been overthrown. And playing with that after the child becomes some wheel. So have a chat with him. I'm sure. I hope that it is just something that he can shake himself out of.
From Mommy. But Uncle, how do you tell a very egoistic person that he or she sucks at lovemaking, especially when no one has ever told them so, without offending?
Yeah, no, you will offend him. No matter how you say it, no matter how you say it, you offend him. Because if he's that egoistic, even those who are not egoistic, do not take it too kindly when you tell them that you suck. So maybe let's find, hope that he will find himself at a session, a marriage seminar, or a program at which somebody speaks something that may wake him up and make him understand that all he's been having is sex. He's never made love to you. All right, can we go on?
Uncle, can someone have all the 5 languages as said by Gary Chapman?
I've answered that already, so let's move on to another one.
From Cecilia. It's a comment. There's a saying that a very good sex can make a woman apologize for the wrong she did not do. Like, honey, I'm sorry for the war in Syria.
Yeah, but that will not be sex. It will be lovemaking. A very good lovemaking, yes. I agree with you.
Okay.
Please, I'm married with 2 kids for 5 years now. My first problem. There's this lady who's at my husband's church who keeps sending him messages on WhatsApp and trying to get my husband's attention. Like, hello dear, good morning. Why don't you check on me? How was your day? Have you gotten home, etc. Sends him images and funny images of sex, etc., which is uncalled for. Sometimes hubby doesn't respond or mind her and she gets angry. I confronted my husband to ignore her and that she may cause problems for our happy home. He said he is not flirting with her and that I shouldn't worry. But I'm worried. Yesterday I realized he has deleted or deletes messages from the girl. Did he have to delete the messages? Is he hiding or don't want me to read messages from the girl anymore? I know I shouldn't be going through his phone, but the business we are doing together permits me to use his account, and so I get tempted to go through his stuff. I have done that without harm for the past 5 years. Please help me. I'm thinking of what could be going on.
Oh, you too. Messages day for phone top, palaver. Messages go and delete, palaver. So what should he do? Listen. Whenever you find a third party, another woman, trying to get your husband's attention, your best solution is not to confront your husband about that person. Your best solution is to make that person irrelevant in your relationship. Because as long as you talk about this party, whenever you fight over that party, you are inviting that party into your home and making that party a factor in your relationship. So don't make the party a factor in your relationship. Ignore it. Especially when your man is not the one taking the initiative. It is the woman who is forcing and pushing. Then please, don't create a crisis for him. Ignore it. And don't even confront the other woman. She doesn't matter. You have your husband. Continue to be the kind of woman he needs. Speak his love language. And nobody can match you. You don't have to be afraid.
From Vivi. Wow, new discovery about libido. Thank you. But uncle, if men's peak time is in their teens and it reduces as they grow, how come men in their 40s and 50s and even 60s keep chasing young girls? What are they looking for?
They are looking for their youth. They are looking for their youth. Whenever you see an older man going for a younger woman, he has lost it. He is looking for somebody he can impress. And the lower he descends in age, the better his chances. Because you see, when he goes for a young girl, the girl has no experience. So the little he displays, the girl gets wowed by it. Whereas a woman of his partner who has known him and has seen him in his prime and has seen his decline, he seems to be able to impress him, to impress her. So that is it. What are they looking for? They are looking for their youth. They want something to remind them of what they used to be. So that is it.
From Harisu, how can communication contribute to lovemaking?
Well, lovemaking is communication. It's not an act, it's communication. It's me letting my woman know how much she means to me and how much our relationship means to me.
Isaac is back. He says, Uncle, my colleague at work says her husband stops to pick up calls during sex. And sometimes it's just when she's enjoying the most.
Oh, this is bad.
When he comes back to continue and she refuses because she's no longer in the mood, he gets angry.
Who has cursed this man? Who has cursed you, my brother? Hey, this thing too will stop and take us. Hey!
Say it again.
What is wrong with you, young man? Why? Oh no, you need prayers. you need deliverance. What? You can stop this and take a phone call. What kind of phone call? Beats business. Oh no, Era, sorry. Forgive him. Yeah, what he's doing is all right. It cannot be justified under any circumstances. And any man listening, whenever lovemaking begins, all phone calls off. All phone calls off. After all, you are now, how long are you lasting? In this sense that you must keep the phone away. When you finish, you can check and see whether Ghana is still there. And trust me, Ghana will still be there.
Uncle, if we are not talking, how do you come say that we should make out? And how should she be ready for you?
Oh, yeah, that's a difficulty, isn't it? Remember what I said, prepare the girl or prepare the girl. It is wrong when you just come and you want to spring into action. Women are not like that. Women are not like that. So he's doing it wrong. I hope he learns.
Uncle, we have a comment here from QB. Wow, nice. Wow, nice. I am not responsible for an orgasm. What a load off my shoulder.
Oh, because a young man. But wait. Your task is to create the right ambience and the right environment. So please focus on that.
From Viva. Doesn't this make marriage business then? I mean, putting arrangements on paper. But I've encountered it growing up, where the man is now calling the house his and moving the woman out.
Ekuya, marriage is business. It is serious. It's the most serious business in any person's life. And sometimes the pain and the bitterness come because we don't understand that it is a legal arrangement. It is a legal arrangement, not a love arrangement. It is a legal arrangement. So let's get the legal thing right.
Uncle, this from Mabel's Nanajo Ohenewa. If your husband hides his money and cheats on you, and you've confronted him several times, but there's no improvement, what do you do?
Bring in a third party, somebody he can respect, somebody he holds himself accountable to, and hopefully the issue may be resolved.
From Nefertiti, how do you feel like a wife after marriage when you still feel like best friends?
Come again.
How do you feel like a wife after marriage?
When you still
feel like best friends?
Era, I don't understand this question. You mean you're married and yet you have a wonderful relationship or what? Because why would you complain that you are married and still feel like best friends? Is it that lovemaking is out or what? So come back again and clarify the situation for me.
From Abby, Uncle, does everyone know how they should be loved?
No, that's why I said not everyone knows his love language. So you who is relating to them, discover it. And I gave you at least 4 ways in which you can discover the love language of your partner. Yeah, let's go, please.
From K, Uncle, please, what if I know her language and I am speaking, but even now she knows she's not speaking. I am also complaining.
I don't understand.
But
the question is not quite clear.
Oh, sorry. Uncle, please, what if I know her language and I am speaking?
Yes.
But even though she knows she's not, sorry.
Or even though she knows your love language, she's not speaking it.
Yes.
Is that what it is? That's what he's trying to say. It's like you are speaking her language, but she's not speaking yours. Have a chat. Have a chat with her. Yeah, let's go.
How do you get all these L's, or even some of them, when you share the house with your mother-in-law? It's our house, and her mother lives with us.
All right. I'm going to say something that will be controversial. If it is your house, and any of your in-laws live with them, and live with you, make love so openly, they will get so uncomfortable, they will move. Don't be too mindful of them. Because after all, they did the same thing and got to you, your partner. Do you understand me? So it's not an offense. It is your home. So feel free. Can you imagine she enters the hall and you and your wife are at it? You know, nobody would tell her to begin to look for another place. You know, she's sleeping and she hears nice sounds. You know, that kind of sound coming from your bedroom. I'm sure. So don't be worried about your mother-in-law. Hey, feel free. Do your thing, and do it well, so that the woman, either she moves out or she prays every day, thanking God for the wonderful husband her daughter has been blessed with.
Uncle, you said we should love our partners their way and not ours. What do you do then when your partner keeps complaining about how you treat him? Yes, won't tell you exactly what he wants. And this from Dorothy.
Note the kind of complaint he makes often, and then discover in that his love language, and then begin to speak in that love language. So, for instance, if he's always saying that the house is never kept right, the house is always disorderly and things like that, then for him, acts of service is his language. If he's always complaining that, you never initiate any intimacy, and when I initiate it, you are doing some way, then physical touch may be his love language. Let's go.
From Emanuela. Uncle, once again, God bless you for sharing your wisdom with us and also time. We also don't take it for granted. Please, Uncle, how do you deal with a partner who thinks you are trying to change him when you voice out how you want to be loved?
Oh, well, there's always choose the time carefully. There's always a time to talk to people. Mothers used to know that a lot. You know, they spoke to him, the old man, at a particular time. It's a time when every man is receptive. So choose that time, and then don't overload it. Just say something you want, and he will do it.
Uncle, he never prepares me. I always prepare myself. My husband always goes straight. I don't know why he is like that. What do I do?
He's like that because nobody has taught him. He's never learned. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't make love. He makes sex. It's unfortunate. I hope somewhere along the line, someone may be able to help him. But if you try to help him, there will be fire. Trust me. So, well, let's go on. We're running out of time.
Uncle, please, how can someone make his lady stop going to the nightclub?
Go with her. Accompany her. What's your problem? Join her one day and have fun.
From Ellie. Hey, Uncle, please, what is making out? Some people say it is not sex or love making, so single people can do it and not feel guilty. Please teach me.
I suspect, Ellie, I don't need to teach you about this. But the only thing I'll say is that we call it making out is petting. And the issue with petting and making out is that it is subject to diminishing returns. And one day, you'll find you've crossed the line. So, and once it comes into a relationship, it also begins to put a bit of stress in the relationship. You'll fight and quarrel a lot. So watch it. Yes, shall we?
Uncle Abby is here with a comment. She says, hey, Uncle, this thing about men not being responsible for a woman's orgasm, the boys will just come and tell their partners they are not responsible for them.
Abby, that's why I said their responsibility is to set the right ambience and the right mood for you. Abby, wouldn't you like that? He prepares you, the mood is right, the ambience is good, the lighting in the room is just the right one. There is possibly music in the background. There's been sweet words and things like that. And put you at your very best. You think you won't reach your orgasm?
From now, I want to know whether it's compulsory for you to wear your ring when you're married.
Look at my fingers. I'm very married. That is what I would say on that.
From Kwame, how do you get your libido back when right after marriage she's not attracted to you as before?
Oh. It may not be your fault, so don't take all the blame. It may be that he himself has gotten himself into a little bit more stress. He's a bit fatigued. So what you do then is Make love at dawn. Make love at dawn. When he comes in, you allow him to sleep. But around dawn, you let his body, ignore him. Ignore him and let his body do the job for you. There are times when the man doesn't want to make sex, make love. But if you touch him at the right places, at the right time, in the right subtle way, he'll be ready and not know he's ready. So get that. But it's always difficult when he seems to have lost interest. So do a bit of the initiating and let's see how it works. Right. I think that brings our time. Our time is gone. Once again, I'd like to thank you very, very, very much for staying with us. I do not take it for granted that you make the time to be with us. If you're in Accra, remember Nicholas. My latest play is on 25th and 26th of November, 2nd and 3rd of December at the National Theatre. The tickets are at the usual outlets, so join us and you will not regret. May God keep you in the coming days. May he protect you and your relationship. May he protect your mind and your heart and your being. May your home be protected. May laughter never depart from you. May your health improve. And may provision never be lacking for you. Stay blessed and see you, God willing, next Friday.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and the supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become your better self. Your better self. You see, nobody goes into a love relationship to be miserable. We go into a love relationship to make each other happy and to be happy. May God bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. May God bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. Bless and keep you happy. I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining us today. Remember, be happy. And may your love life be sweet. We do this every Friday from 12:30 GMT to 13:30 GMT on